We are very close to EA Sports revealing everything we need to know about College Football 27, and in fact, they came out this morning and actually made a statement on that and when we can expect it. But there are a lot of things we already know about the game, so in this video, I'm going to go over everything we know so far about College Football 27, and that includes some new leaks that have happened over the past few days. And keep in mind, all of this stuff in the video are kind of some of the smaller things we know about the game. There's not a lot of big info out there just yet. I would say a couple of things in this video would be considered big, but a lot of the bigger information is going to come from EA themselves when they're ready to announce it, but we do still know a good handful of things so far. And make sure you subscribe and turn the bell icon on so that you don't miss any of the info when it drops, because I'm going to have it the second they release any information. Now this morning, EA came out on their Good Morning stream and said that we will be able to find out everything we need to know about not only College 27, but Madden 27 as well, starting in early June. So that means we're probably about 2 weeks away from information starting to flow. Now I know some people are asking, why not May? Last year we got the college trailer on May 29th. Well, it might just be a week later this year, which really isn't the biggest deal in the world. That's still on a very similar timeline to how they've released stuff in the past, and most of the information we have gotten about the college game the last 2 years has been predominantly in June anyway, so that makes plenty of sense. But the fact that we're going to be finding out about both games in early June is kind of different. Now, obviously last year we found out about Madden alongside college to some degree, but it was still a little bit more college heavy in June and then more Madden focused later at the end of June, early July. So curious how they're doing that this year. And they also mentioned that the rollout was going to be a little different this year. So we're used to having like weekly or bi-weekly deep dives previous years. Maybe they're doing something completely different this year. So I'm kind of curious to see how they're going to be rolling it out. But let's go over the things we do know about the game so far, because there's been a lot of leaks over the months. There's been things EA has said, so we do know a little bit so far about the game. First off, we know this is the easy one. They're going to be getting 2 new teams this year. There were 2 teams that moved from the FCS up to the FBS level, which is going to be North Dakota State and Sacramento State. And the same thing happened last year with Delaware, and I can't remember what the other school was, but there were 2 teams that moved up last year, and they were in College 26. This year, we've got 2 teams moving up. They're going to be in College 27. Now, will we get FCS teams? That I still don't know. Haven't heard anything about it. Not really fully expecting that this year, but I think eventually they're going to do it. I think they just still want to get the other 138 teams as detailed as possible before they move on to FCS. Another big one we know is that the game is coming to PC. This was leaked by Mutt Leaks months ago, and there is a PC test going on right now that he has also revealed. So if there's a PC test going on, well then obviously there's a PC version of the game. And I think this is some of the biggest news because we've seen what modders have done with the Madden games. We've seen what they did with NCAA 14, keeping it alive for all those years. So they're going to be doing some crazy stuff with the new college games now, and I can't wait to see. Another thing that leaked recently is apparently the game's also coming to mobile this year. Now, I don't want to post any screenshots. There were some screenshots that were leaked. I think Tubby Light had put some information out on it, but I know EA definitely doesn't want that hitting the internet right now. So it does appear that we could be getting this on mobile. It's probably going to be more Ultimate Team focused on mobile, the same way that Madden Mobile is. So, I mean, maybe not something a lot of you are interested in, but for college football gaming on the go, you know, if you want to play a mobile version of the game, it appears that we might be getting that this year. Some gameplay related leaks that we heard about a few months ago were that custom adjustments were coming to the game. Now, I've talked about this in previous videos. It has also been leaked that this was coming to Madden 27 as well. So we know when it comes to these games, they usually share a lot of the gameplay changes. Usually they both get the same gameplay changes in the same year, or sometimes one game will get it the year after the other. But for the most part, they usually get them in the same year. We do know that custom adjustments have been leaked for both games. And what it sounds like it meant from what was described by Mutt Leaks is that you'd be able to save your adjustments game to game, meaning if I wanted to call a certain pass play, but I always wanted to put a certain hot route on that play, I could save that, and then when I call the play, it would just already be there. I wouldn't have to make those same inputs on offense or defense every single time. So that is a pretty big gameplay leak that we have heard about the game. We've also heard some other leaks in terms of having more team depth in terms of team data. So when you think of like the mascots, and when you think of the team mottos and the band songs and all those types of things, we just heard that more team depth is something that they were going to be putting into the game. What exactly that depth is going to entail, we don't know, but it's always good to hear that they're trying to add more depth to anything in the game, because these games are kind of living, breathing things, especially in Dynasty mode, so we definitely want the teams to be a little bit more on point with the things that make them unique. Now, that's the only leak that I know for sure that we've heard about Dynasty. I think there may be some other things kind of floating around today because more people are beta testing the game now. I think it's a small group of people, but there are play tests that have gone out. So I do think there are some things floating around. There's certain things I'm comfortable talking about. Other things I don't know if I can really speak on yet. So there may be some other info out there if you look. But Dynasty-wise, that's kind of the main leak we've heard for a while was just they're going to have more team depth. But that's not the only thing they're going to do for Dynasty. Like, don't worry. They're definitely going to do some big things for Dynasty. It's the most important mode in the game. Every year they have definitely focused heavily on it, even if there are still some things that need, a good bit of work in it, like coaching carousel, for example. Dynasty's definitely going to have some pretty noteworthy improvements, but we'll probably have to wait from EA themselves to kind of hear what those are going to be. And we know they're also going to be expanding Road to Glory. There's been nothing big that's actually leaked about it yet, but I just remember when I was down at EA last year when they were talking about Road to Glory, one of the main things they kept saying was that they know that this mode is kind of behind and that they know within the next 2 to 3 years it's going to be a mode people like a lot more than they do now. So they kind of know that they have a lot to do there, which means they're going to be making those steps every year. So what exactly are we going to get in Road to Glory? I'm hoping more positions, more high school involvement and other things. I just know I can guarantee that they're going to be making some significant improvements there. We just don't know specifically what they are just yet. Now, something we do know that is coming to the game is updated equipment. That is something that has been a big talking point over the last year. The equipment community has been in an uproar because they just feel like the equipment in the game is behind. And they're right, it is behind. There are some things that are up to date, but there's a lot of things that players wear in real life that aren't in the game, and there's been a lot of feedback over the year. And equipment gurus even come out and said that there's going to be a lot of good new stuff in the game this year that, they listened to the feedback. And today, specifically, Mutt Leaks actually came out and said that some new equipment was seen in the game, and he's leaking that there were one leg sleeves and there were hanging mouthpieces, which kind of I knew that would happen just because they were the two biggest talking points equipment wise for the last 2 years. So he even also commented under that and said there's a lot more new equipment in the game, not just those two things, and he didn't want to spoil it, but he said that those are two things that are in the game. So Mutt Leaks always kind of coming through with the information, but I know the equipment heads will definitely be happy to hear that those things are guaranteed, and on top of that there's a lot more to come from what he said. Another thing we know about the game is more than likely it's going to have mascot mode, and that's because this leaked a long time ago when EA accidentally sent out emails to players saying that you'd be able to play mascot mode in the upcoming title update, but that never actually happened. So it sounds like at one point they were planning on putting mascot mode into the game last year, and for whatever reason they held off. Maybe they just had some issues with it. Maybe they just wanted to wait to have it for a selling point. I don't know, but we don't have 100% confirmation on that yet, but if they sent that out in a email by accident, that means it's something they're working on, and if they were working on it, really find it hard to believe that they wouldn't be putting that in the game this year. So I feel very confident saying that we're probably getting that as well. Another thing that we pretty much know at this point is it's not coming to the Switch 2. A lot of people were asking that when we first heard it was coming to PC, and then we also now got leaks that it's potentially coming to mobile. There's really been nothing out there to suggest that it's coming to the Switch 2 like Madden did last year. I don't even know if Madden performed that well on the Switch, honestly, that they would even invest in doing that. But when Mutt Leaks was talking about all of the SKUs that were out for the game a while back, that's when he discovered that the PC version was likely coming. There was no SKU for the Switch 2, which means that it's just probably not going to come to the Switch 2 for those that are asking. Now, like I said, we're going to be finding out a ton of information. We're going to be getting videos and trailers and all of that before you know it within the next couple of weeks, more than likely, based on what was announced today. So make sure you're tapped in. We're going to be finding out all the big and great things about the game sooner rather than later. In the meantime, if you want to know some other things that I think we can expect to be in this game, you can check out this video right here on the screen.